Hi guys, welcome! In this video, we'll explore the Battle Priest build for Archbishops. The Battle Priest is an excellent alternative to Magnus Exorcismus and Jude for farming. The beauty of this build is that unlike Magnus Exorcismus or Jude, we are not limited to only a certain race of mobs and MVPs. This build can target a wider array of monsters, thus making it a very efficient farming option. It has the potential to one-hit mobs and even take on minis and MVPs. In this video, we'll discuss the most important stats, skills, runes, equipment, cards, and tips for the Archbishop Battle Priest build. We'll specifically go into detail on the different equips for farming Juno mobs such as a Fairy Main, and Toy Factory mobs such as a Zipper Bear. We'll also look into how to use this build to take on minis and MVPs. I hope that by the end of this video, you'll have a clearer idea on how to build your own melee Battle Priest. Since this is a detailed video, I'll have timestamps down below. Alright, without further ado, let's begin. First, let's start with the stat build. First off, allot 110 points on strength. This is our primary stat which will increase melee attack. Prioritize leveling up the stat for higher base damage. Next, allot 60 points on luck. This increases critical rate and critical resistance. Critical attacks deal twice the damage of normal attacks and ignore the defense of targets. Lastly, allot the remaining points on agility. This increases attack speed and flee. You will need high agility to have fast critical attacks and for survivability. Next, let's discuss the most important skills to get. For the Acolyte skills, you should allocate points on Level 10 Blessing to increase strength, dexterity, and intelligence. Level 10 Increase agility to enhance agility and movement speed. Level 10 Curie Elation to obtain a shield that blocks damage. And Level 10 Mace's Mastery to increase attack when using maces and knuckles. For the priest skills, you may get Level 5 Gloria for increased luck. Level 10 Impositor Manus to increase attack and for your auto attacks to deal size correction damage that ignores defense. Level 2 Aspersia to imbue auto attacks with holy element damage. Level 10 Increase Spiritual Recovery for SP sustainability. Level 3 Resurrection. Level 5 Clearance, which can expel debuffs but can also be used on target enemies to remove their buffs using the rune Highly Effective Clearance. As for the remaining 5 points, you can allocate it on any skill of your choice, but I'd recommend putting it on Level 5 Magnificat for SP Restore. For the High Priest skills, you should prioritize getting Level 10 Demon Bane to increase attack and damage dealt to demon and undead monsters. Then get Level 10 Angelus, Level 5 Assumption, and Level 10 Safety Wall for defense. Then get Level 3 Lex Divina to unlock Level 1 Lex Eterna to double the damage received by enemies. Would also need this unlocked to access other Archbishop skills later on. For the last skill point, you may allocate it on Level 1 Decrease Agility to lower the enemy's movement speed and agility. Once you've reached Job Breakthrough, you may allocate the additional skill points on the following. Level 20 Mace's Mastery, which would increase attack by 60 points, increase auto attacks by 400 points, and increase agility, luck, and crit by 10 points each when using a mace. Level 20 Demon Bane, which would increase attack by 60 points and give additional 50% damage dealt to demon monsters and undead monsters. In addition, every 3 points of luck will be converted to 1% critical damage. Level 15 Blessing, which will give additional 25 points of strength, dexterity, and intelligence. And lastly, Level 15 Curie Elation for defense. Alright, now for the Archbishop skills, you should prioritize getting Level 10 Expiatio, which is a passive skill that would increase physical penetration by 15%. Level 10 Duple Light, which will deal bonus holy damage that ignores defense when using melee attacks. Level 3 Deny to unlock Level 10 Exhort, which is a passive skill that would reduce the enemy's attack and magic attack by 30% when using auto attacks or holy damage skills. Alright, these are the notable skills that find utility for the Battle Priest build. You are free to allot the remaining skill points whichever way you like. Now that we're done with the skills, let's dive into the runes. First up, we have the Mace's Mastery and Power. This will increase the Mace's Mastery physical attack by 60%. There are 3 runes for this, giving us 180% additional attack from Mace's Mastery. Next, Strength Auto Attack will increase the auto attack bonus converted from Strength by 5%. In addition, Auto Attack will increase by 50 points. There are 2 runes for this, giving us plus 10% bonus and plus 100 points for Auto Attack. Up next, SB Auto Attack converts 7% magic attack to Auto Attack, and also gives an additional plus 50 points on Auto Attack damage. Up next, Imposition Manus Empower will increase the attack given by Imposition Manus by 5% for each rune. There are 4 runes for this, giving us 20% bonus attack. Up next, the Expiatio Enhanced runes will increase the Expiatio penetration by 1% for each rune. There are 4 runes for this, giving us plus 4% additional penetration. After that, unlock Critical Damage percent runes, which will give 1% additional critical damage per rune. There are 3 runes for this, giving us a total of 3% additional critical damage. Next, unlocking the Auto Luck rune will give auto attacks a 5% chance to cast the same level Gloria to self. Similarly, Auto Imposition will allow auto attacks to have a 3% chance to cast the same level Imposition Manus to self. After that, use your remaining contribution on unlocking critical nodes. If you have enough contribution, it is possible to achieve 90% critical rate with the help of runes. Finally, you may also unlock the Holy Damage runes, which would increase Holy Attack. There are 4 Holy Attack runes in the High Priest Aesir, and 5 Holy Attack runes in the Archbishop Aesir. However, note that this is not a priority, as a Battle Priest build is not limited to farming using Holy Damage. You may use converters to expand farming options. If you're going to do MVP hunts, the following runes may find utility. First off, Repentance is a rune which will unlock an active skill which will deal holy magic damage to a target enemy. This would also give the Repentance status, in which the caster would deal additional 30% damage to the target using auto attacks. There are 3 Repentance runes which would increase the holy damage and duration. To synergize with Repentance, we have Repentance Utility. This will render targets in Repentance status to lose HP every 2 seconds. There are 3 runes for this, which will increase HP loss every 2 seconds. Up next, Duple Light Enhance would give Duple Light additional 5% damage for each rune. There are 5 runes for this, giving us a total of 25% additional damage. Lastly, Duple Light Boost would increase the Duple Light attack speed by 3%. There are 4 runes for this, which would give us 12% additional attack speed. Next, let's dive into the recommended equipment set and cards. Our farming equipment would vary depending on the mobs that we'll be targeting. If we're going for the Fairy main, which is of large size and undead race, here is the recommended equipment set. For the weapon, it is recommended to get a double slotted slash. Level it up to tier 5 for bonus critical damage. Inlay 2 mini cards for increased damage against large size monsters. In this case, the bonus critical will allow us to reach 100 critical with Gloria. For the offhand, the Exorcism Bible will give plus 15% damage reduction from the undead race and less 20% dark damage taken. It is important to level it up to tier 4, as this would give plus 15% damage to the undead race, which is the race of the Fairy main. For the armor, we have 2 options. First, we can get a tier 3 tights for added attack, or a Saint's Cape for the conversion of HP to attack and for the bonus attack speed and attack bonus when paired with Slash. You may inlay an Archer Skeleton Star card for bonus 5% attack. Next, for the garment, get the Blue Eve Cape for additional Flee, Strength, and attack speed. You may inlay a Baphomet Jr. card if additional crit is needed. Next, for the footgear, the Rune Boots is recommended. Battle Priest draws damage from both physical and magic attack, thus a Rune Boots would be ideal as it gives both attack and magic attack. For the accessories, you may choose any accessory of your choice as long as it has a sharp blade 4th and chance to increase melee attack damage. For the headgear, the Firmament Horn is ideal for the bonus critical and critical damage. The Cat Earberry is also a good alternative for additional attack. inlay a cramp card for +3 luck and +5 flee, or an Andre Star card which gives +3% penetration and +3% ignore death when strength or dexterity reaches 225. For the face, craft a Spashara's Whisper for +10 damage to undead monsters, which is the race of the fairy main. Refine it to +4 as each refining level will increase the damage to undead monsters by 1%. Crafting it has an unlocked reward of 1% additional attack damage to the undead race. For the mouth, the Sparkle Firework gives +2 critical and +4% critical damage. You may also opt for the Dream Weave Silk for +4% physical penetration and the chance to freeze targets. Other mouth items with bonus attacks such as the chocolate donuts would also be suitable alternatives. For the back, we have two options. You can go for the Golden Christmas spell for increased holy damage when using Aspersia, or you may also go for the Devil Wing. The Devil Wing would be preferred when using elemental converters. For the tail, get the Epic Spirit Death Convoy from the Nibelungen shards, as this gives additional 10% damage to the undead race. Alright, let's try it out. Before we begin, this is the recommended skills for your auto skill slot. If you have the last slot unlocked, you may put in Curie Elation. We can see that with this build, we can efficiently farm the fairy main. Just know that if you can already one-hit mobs without Duple Light, you may remove that for faster farming. Alright, for Zipper Bear farming, which is of Brute Race and Shadow Element, we'd have to modify a few items. For the weapon card, inlay a Goblin card which increases damage against the Brute Race, or any other card which enhances critical damage like the Kobold Archer card. For the offhand, get a Tier 3 Shield of Naga for the bonus magic attack. The Tier 3 upgrade would further increase magic attack by 4%. For the accessory cards, you may inlay the Santa Pouring for +15% damage to dark monsters, or the Ultraman card for +8% damage to brute monsters. For the headwear card, inlay a Marten card for additional 10% damage to dark monsters. For the face, the Frost Masquerade Mask would give attack points and % attack bonuses. The Eye of Dawn would also be a good option for the +40 attack and +2 on both strength and dexterity. The Monocle might also be used for the additional % magic attack. For the tail, the Golden March, Windpurse Drake, or any other damage-adding tail would be suitable. For the food, you may opt for the original Will Cookies for additional damage to non-boss monsters if the damage is lacking. However, if the damage is already sufficient but you'd want to improve the farming rate, the Bronteria Royal Fish Steak would not only increase attack but would also give bonus movement speed. Furthermore, Strength Mill A will also be beneficial for extra damage. Alright, now let's head on to the Toy Factory. Again, here we are able to one-hit mobs using our Battle Priest build. Alright, now the Battle Priest build can not only be used for farming but also for taking on minis and MVPs. For the MVP build, we'll have to use the previous Zipper Bear farming equips and just adjusting the cards and other headwear depending on the MVP. For example, if we're going for the Orc Hero, which is of large size, demi-human race, and earth element, we'd be using the Minoris card, Hockey Mask, and Fire Converter. You may use the Ice Cream Food Buff for additional damage to boss monsters. Also, this is the time for us to use the Repentance skill. When facing the MVPs, cast your self buffs first, then manually cast Repentance on the boss monster before you attack. Then recast Repentance again as the cooldown finishes. Repentance will deal holy magic damage to the target and will also give the Repentance status, in which we will deal additional 30% damage to the target using auto attacks. And we can see that with this build, our Archbishop can take on minis and MVPs. Alright, So far we've gone through the most important stats, skills, runes, equipment, cards, and tips for the Archbishop Battle Priest build. With this build, we are able to efficiently one-hit mobs such as the Fairy Main from the Magma Dungeon and the Zipper Bear from the Toy Factory. We also look into how this build can be used against minis and MVPs. Before I end this video, I'd like to give special thanks to my guildmate Rael for his substantial contribution in the making of this video. Alright, that's it for this video guys. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed watching this guide. If you're new here, I would love for you to consider subscribing by hitting the subscribe button down below. I would love to have you back. Thank you for watching and see you in our next episode.